Welcome to the Nameless Ones. Let's explore the current frequencies and energetic weather at this time. You only have to look around you and listen, and you may notice that as we approach this eclipse, as we step into this eclipse energy now, you'll always see it every eclipse season in different shapes and forms, but it always is there if you pay attention. There are people, I saw in the media that there were people protesting at the snooker game. There was animal rights people at some horse event. You will see lots of protests, and people just feel the need to express themselves on a much more intense, expansive way. So it's very, very typical of eclipse season to notice that there's a creative chaos that seems to take hold. And my phone is ringing as I'm doing the video. That's very fitting as well. I'll just have to bring them back. We are looking at our behaviours, and our angels are asking us to be very honest about what behaviours are we continuing or repeating that simply don't serve us anymore. So we might be given an opportunity to redo a situation or to reflect on past behaviours and how we handle certain situations. We're being asked to take all the lessons we've learned, to really dig deep into the archive of our learning, and to decide what worked and what didn't work, and being really honest with ourselves about that so that we don't repeat negative behaviours and negative reactions to things that simply didn't get us anywhere. So it's an inventory of past experiences that have brought us to this point, into this new year, into this eclipse season, and for us to look at how we need to change. So it is the eclipse will always push us. It's a loving push from the universe, from the cosmos, but it is a push all the same. And it's showing us that it's time to face where we are and to choose and decide what the next 6 months, the rest of the year, is going to look like for us. Because the choices we make around eclipses, and if you look back in your life and you actually see where the eclipses were, you will see that you often made major life changes at that time. Like literally every year for the past 5 years, I can map out where I made dramatic choices, changes, decisions around the eclipses, because I got that sense of push. I got the support energetically I needed to do it. Now, I feel with this particular eclipse season, so the 20th of April, right? I do think, because as well we have a Mercury retrograde coming right after, that's telling us to slow down. That's telling us to reflect and to really pay attention. It's asking us to be mindful, to be gentle. I think the eclipses of 22 and 2020 were particularly rough on most of us. Like rough stuff, like very, very rare energies, rare frequencies, unusual energies and anxieties coming up. It was a very intense time. I don't feel like this year is going to be that, as it's not going to be intense in that way, but it's still a time for us to pick up behaviors that we know we need or support us. It's also a time to release. If there's people in your life, if there's people around you, it could be in your workplace, it could be on the street you live. If there's people around you that you don't feel are supportive, are kind, are good for you, just generally good for your energy. If you have a friend that drains you or doesn't make you feel, when you walk away you just don't feel good from that connection, all that's going to be kicked up now. And it's going to be difficult not to face it squarely. It's going to be, that's the thing about eclipses, they don't allow us to run away from our responsibilities. We're not allowed to run away from our truth at this time, especially. At any time when you do that, it will catch up with you, right? Because the truth will always prevail. But it's particularly supported to communicate. And I feel like I just keep getting from the angels that this particular time in the next week or two is all about communication. You're going to find you're not going to be able to bite your tongue like you usually do. And perhaps you're not supposed to. But you can do that in a loving way. You can do that in an empowering way. And if you need to, there is a sense of, there'll be anger coming up as well. There could be a lot of frustration at this time. You can use your throat chakra and you can express yourself and articulate your boundaries or whatever it is. First of all, from a loving place of compassion for yourself, because you're loving yourself by saying to this person, I'm not comfortable with this, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want you in my life anymore, whatever that is, or I have to move on. But you can do it there is a gentle way. There is a way of being totally honest with people without being cruel. And with the intensity and the frenetic energy of eclipses, sometimes people can just veer into the dramatic and get taken in by the intense energies and then look back and go, oh, why did I say it like that? Or why did I put it that way? So there is mindfulness required. There's a management of reactions to things that's required. That's going to help you. This is all my spiritual suggestions to you to navigate these energies right now. Bad habits that don't bring you joy and don't make you feel good about yourself are particularly going to come up around the next few days and the weeks that follow. So if there's something that you've maybe in the past, you always jumped when somebody said they needed you, even people who didn't appreciate you or deserve your help, okay? As an example, this is a time where you might say, no, I'm gonna let that phone ring. I'm gonna let that person deal with their own stuff because they're in a position now where they're asking me to enable bad behavior. Something like that. And it'd be a chance for you. When I say behavior, I'm not always just talking about what time you go to bed at or reducing your screen time, which are all good things, by the way, to look at and to improve in your life. But it's even deeper than that. It's about behaviors, subtle habits that actually tell us and tell other people that we don't truly value ourselves, that we don't put ourselves first and look after our own needs, that we don't have any gentleness or generosity of spirit for our own desires, our own time and energy. But these behaviors can be really subtle, but you'll find since 2020, all of these things have been brought up to the surface. Many of them have. And if not, they will be now in the next few months. So it's a chance to say, how can I do this differently? How can I act in a way and take action from a place of alignment of what I want, alignment of what aligns with me and my God force, my God source energy, and then gently allow that to flow into the world and allow that to flow into my friendships and into my relationships and into my workspace. So it is a frustrating time for some. Some people will feel like they're just ready to hit the ground running and go. And these current frequencies are going to stop you in your tracks and say, slow down. You don't get to fully run and jump off the cliff just yet. There is this feeling, this sense of you need to make resolutions. You need to be complete in how you did things and how it was, so that moving forward you can do it differently. It is a big time of embracing change. And with the cosmic energies, there might be resistance to that change. You might be resisting how that change looks or plays out in your life. Perhaps there's a big shift that requires you to get way outside your comfort zone, which is, I feel, will be part and parcel of the energies in the next coming months, especially in May and June. There's going to be big changes for a lot of people, and for some people unexpected changes, or unexpected in that they find out something during these eclipses that's going to happen in June, that kind of thing. So we have to dance and flow with the energies that are. We have to learn to be in that. We don't get to sit back and curl up and die. You know, you're in your life now, you're fully alive. And the great thing that I like about eclipse season is it reminds you how alive you are. You know, even if that's the biggest breakup of your life, like I went through at this time last year, and you're crying every day, all day, can't eat, can't sleep, it's still, that will, even though that's really intense and painful and sorrowful, you know you're alive because you're living it, right? Being alive doesn't always mean sunshine and roses and everything's wonderful and you're excited and, you know, it's all hanging out with friends, and all of it is being alive. All the highs and lows, you know, being on the mountaintop and enjoying the beautiful view and being down in the valley and feeling lost and alone. It's all part of being alive. But it's about honoring wherever you are. But just notice your behaviors, because you're being given an opportunity to do something differently, to do it new, in a new way, to handle it differently, to take more responsibility for your inner child or your emotions, where maybe in the past you tried to project that on someone else, or you just weren't willing to actually sit in the discomfort of whatever was being kicked up by your inner child. This is an opportunity now. Right now we're in it. You know, we're sitting in the eye of the storm. And instead of saying, oh, I have to do something, I have to do this. I was teaching this in my class today. in my job with my lovely clients, and I was saying, replace I have to with I get to. I get to do this. I said to them, when they're saying, oh, I have to hoover the house, you gotta flip that and see that in a whole new perspective. It's all about perspective. I get to hoover the house. And I said to the group, some people have no arms, some people have no legs. They'd love to get up and hoover the house. You know, when I'm out going for my run or on the trampoline, I say, I get to do this. There'll come a day I won't be able to do that. There'll come a day where I'll be, you know, old and infirm. So I get to do that now. So it's really important that we look at our attitude to things, especially at this time where it's very easy to get pulled into frustrations and pulled into the intensity of people around us as well. Because people who are unconscious or have a lack of awareness, they will be particularly prickly because they won't fully, they're not engaging with the process, right? They're totally unaware of what's going on. So just to be mindful of that and to have compassion and to have understanding and to say to yourself, everybody is where they are. Everybody is on their own journey and they are evolving at the rate and time that's right for them. And in every incarnation, we take on different roles. And perhaps in this incarnation, that's the role they're playing, and they're actually a master soul, but they're here to play somebody who's, you know, giving you a hard time, so that it makes you look inside yourself and go, okay, what is this reflecting to me? What is this challenge triggering in me that I can heal in myself now? Maybe it reminds me of in my younger days of defiance, or maybe it reminds me of another time, another lifetime where something else played out. So this is an opportunity. Remember that I will always look for the sunshine in the clouds. That's just my nature. It also benefits me to live my life that way, and that's the way I am with my clients. I don't believe in spiritual bypassing or sugarcoating, but I do believe even in the honesty of pain or heartbreak or whatever, we can always find beauty. We can always find wisdom in that. We can always find a nugget of gold that will help us move forward and keep us evolving along. So the big changes that are happening in your life, you might be tempted around the eclipses to resist and dig your heels in, but trust me, nature is so powerful and she knows her business far better than we ever could. We don't have that higher panoramic perspective that the higher power has. And I do believe that everything is to our benefit. I don't believe that God gives us bad gifts. Sometimes the gifts come wrapped in pain and come wrapped in loss and grief. But as we unwrap the layers, the gift is always in there. And I that's what I believe. I believe God always gives us good things. But we stand in our own way to receive that. And if there's stuff in us that needs to be, that we've outgrown, you're going to have to shed that skin now. So I hope this was helpful to somebody. That's why I do these videos. And if you can resonate or feel that these themes are literally playing out, I'd love to hear how they are in your life. Like, what examples are you noticing? I'm embarking on big change over the next few months, and I can see how I'm being given a choice point now I can resist that change, or I can go with the flow, and I can be brave enough and courageous enough to delve into the unknown. This is about the unknown. These energies, this time right now, whenever you're watching this video, this is about the unknown. And the unknown scares us, and that's okay. But confidence grows through doing. We learn through the process. So my advice is just keep swaying and moving and be gentle, slow down, but keep heading towards that unknown, because that's where your new life awaits. And that's where the excitement and the thrill that the stuff that was blocking you in the last few years has been cleared, so that you can go and have that new adventure now, that you can actually embrace it and enjoy it. So why would you stop now? You got to keep moving forward. Do mind yourself around the eclipses. In some cultures, they suggest staying inside. It just depends on your belief systems. But definitely leave some space in your energy, in your emotions, in your time, in your schedule, so that you can really reflect and digest these changes that are coming into your life, ready or not. God bless you.